Combating the illegal ivory trade in African elephants is DNA friendly. This has become such a huge issue that ivory is now being called white gold. There has been a sharp decrease since the 1900s, and in 1979 there was only 1.3 million left. In 1989, a worldwide ban was put in place against ivory products to help protect the African elephant. Since then, the elephant population has plummeted to 500,000 and continues to do so due to Asian demand. Botswana, Zimbabwe and Namibia were allowed an experimental one-off sale of 49,000 kilograms of ivory to Japan in 1999. Another one-off sale of 105,000 kilos was approved in 2002 and took place in 2008. Poaching in many countries spiraled out of control once again, with some being the worst they have been since 1989. In July 2012, the Conservation of International Trade in Endangered Species recognized that the levels of poaching had reached unsustainable levels even in the large areas that was considered as safe. Between October 2012 and January 2013, 12 tons were seized in just 4 incidents, and 2013 was the largest ever witnessed in ivory seized. These elephants have a gestation period of 22 months, and usually a single calf is born every 2.5 to 9 years at the start of the wet season. Males need to reach at least 20 years old before being able to successfully compete for females. Some of the conservation issues are habitat decline and migration routes, which are being interrupted due to large human dwellings. Where farms border elephant habitat or cross elephant migration routes, damage to crops and villages can become a commonplace, providing a source of conflict which the elephants live and humans can get killed by being trampled. The biggest conservation issue is the elephants are being poached to extinction for their tusks. In countries where wildlife management authorities are seriously underfunded, poaching still appears to be a chronic significant problem. The most common poaching gun in East Africa is the AK-47, but they also poison watermelons with cyanide and leave them scattered around. There are about 100 elephants which are killed daily in Africa to supply the demand for ivory. An experiment conducted by Wes and their colleagues in 2008 was trying a new way to identify where ivory originated through DNA forensics. In June 2002, 6.5 tons of ivory was seized in Singapore after being shipped from Malawi in Mozambique and South Africa. This seizure had tusks, handcuffs and scrapped ivory in it. All the results strongly suggested that they were all from African elephants. The tusks originated in Zambia and the handcuffs and scraps were centered in Tanzania. In 2006, 3.9 tons of tusks were seized in Hong Kong and ivory chips were seized in Cameroon. The ivory was found in trucks that all had secret compartments where they tried to smuggle it between the countries. The results showed all the ivory was from forest elephants. The tusks and the chips originated in the south of Gabon. This suggests that the DNA data from both samples had a common origin. All the ivory had common origins, strongly suggesting they all came from target populations. Authorities have had a difficult time suppressing the resurgence in illegal wildlife trade, partly because nearly all forensic information has only begun at the shipping location. Identifying the origins of poached products traditionally forces countries to take responsibility for the illegal killing of their wildlife by exposing them to the Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species and other internationally enforced sanctions. Cutting off the supply can also help thwart the long history of ineffective prosecution of illegal wildlife traffickers in consumer countries. Perhaps most importantly, stopping poaching at its source will keep the remaining wildlife from being killed in the first place. This alone warrants placing greater effort on their first link in this long chain, a point made even more pressing in the light of the remaining elephants that are projected to be killed to support this trade.